good, everyone? Welcome back for another session and another showcase. It's been a little while since I've covered videos related to the Kaioken mechanic test environment, so to speak. So, of course, with the release of the Extreme Intelligence Legendary Super Saiyan Broly and the built-in skill sets around this guy, I definitely did want to test it out and see how high the attack stats can actually get to. Now, I'll cover all the details within the card itself, but just to break it down, if you're new to the channel or the first time watching the video on this channel, just to break it down, the Kaioken mechanic testing really is meant for units that have the ability to stack either attack or defense. In this guy's case, you can raise both attack and defense based on the super attack ability. And the way the game works is you're able to stack up until 99 turns. There is a limit to how much you can stack up, but there are certain events like the Rose Dokkan event, or in this case, the Tech Super Saiyan 3 Broly Dokkan event. You're able to continue to pummel against certain units because they're essentially invincible, so to speak. So that's pretty much the format with that. Now, just to give you a breakdown, you do want to bring in a type disadvantage, weaker type unit to assign the Dokkan mode attack. That way, you're able to prolong the battle as much as possible and make sure you're able to continue on until 99 turns, essentially. So that's kind of the summary of the format of how to test out the Kaioken mechanic. Now let's just transition and talk about the unit itself. First of all, unfortunately, out of I don't know if I didn't upload the additional summoning sessions I've had, but I ran through about 1,200 stones, and I was not able to pull Broly, so I had to create a makeshift team build based on movie heroes, or movie bosses, I should say. And the reason I didn't bring in the Dragon Ball Super Saiyan Broly is, of course, he has an AoE attack built in, so because of that, I could not bring the unit, and I brought in the AGL Turles instead. It's a little bit less of a leader skill, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, it works out just fine. Alright, let's just talk about the unit. So, the Legendary Super Saiyan Broly unit, Planetary Destruction or Movie Bosses category, key plus 3 HP increase of 130%, and then attack and defense increase of 170%. Again, the super attack ability will raise attack and defense and cause immense damage to enemy, and what complements this is based on certain criteria. In the passive, you're able to get additional super. So let me break this down for you. Key plus 3 additional attack and defense increase of 180%. That's your base boost, and then reduces damage received by 18%. And chance of performing a critical hit increase of 18%. Launches an additional attack that's got a medium chance of becoming super, plus an additional key plus 3. And launches an additional attack that's got a medium chance of becoming a super attack. Reduces damage received by 18%. Chance of performing a critical hit also increases 18% within the same turn after performing a super attack. All of this falls into when there's a pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans category enemy. So of course, with the built-in passive skill sets, I wanted to bring it on the Tech Super Saiyan 3 Broly Dokkan event versus the Rose event, because you're not going to get those passive boosts based on the criteria here. Now, there is an active skill for this unit, and just so you know, I did save it till the very end until we fully stacked up as much as we could. It's a key plus 6 attack increase of 60%. Attacks effective against all types for 1 turn. Again, it can be activated one time only, obviously, with all these active skill, but the criteria for that is also after performing 4 or more super attacks in battle. So of course, given the format of how many super attacks we're implementing here, that's not an issue. But I did want to reserve it till the very end because of course we want to see the full increase of the attack stats at that point in time. Now, in terms of links, there are a couple of situations where I did bring in the Tech LR Broly, and I wanted this guy to link up with him throughout the battle. I did consider whether I wanted to go with a double support rotation setup, but I don't know. Maybe my bias toward love for Tech LR Broly forced me into linking up the unit together. But they do link up pretty well. So I think in essence, I did want to kind of display that as well. But the link sets are pretty decent. I mean, Saiyan Warrior Race's attack increase of 10%, Super Saiyan's attack increase of 15%, Saiyan Lineage is key plus 2, attack and defense increase of 5%, Berserker, of course, is attack increase of 30%, but you have to have HP 50% or below for that to be activated. Prepare for Battles, key plus 2, and attack and defense increase of 5%. Hardened Grudge is key plus 2, and attack increase of 10%. And then Fierce Battle is attack increase of 20%. And of course, I'm testing this unit out on movie bosses out of necessity here, but in terms of categories, this guy falls into Pure Saiyans, Full Power, Target Goku, Exploding Rage, Inhuman Deeds, and Planetary Destruction, which is the new category. And as you saw, 100% potential, you have HP of 17,350, attack is 16,910, and defense is 11,063, 12 key multiplier is 150%. And, all these parameters kind of work out in itself. I did want to keep Turles in the supporting floater spot, basically as a extra boost toward 40%. Certainly helps with the additional abilities to increase that attack stats. So I only included the rotations where Turles was on it because I wanted to be a little bit consistent as to not fluctuating up and down depending on what type of floater you have in the third slot. So that's pretty much my focus of how I wanted to be pretty consistent. So it always comes down to this type of testing for me is always a lot of fun. I don't mind doing this at all because to me, again, it's a lot of fun, and just being able to see the attack stats increase incrementally over time is to me a lot of entertainment. It's I like seeing that kind of stuff, and I'm sure you guys do too, based on past trends of how the videos have performed in the past. I think a lot of you guys tend to enjoy this type of video as well. So I don't know, it's kind of the new variation of, I guess, the nuke test in a way. And just so you know, it reminds me, I did bring in some attack boosting items, including the orb changing Monica item that boosts the extra 5% based on obtaining the intelligence key spheres for int type units. So I did kind of roll that out at the very end. I saved the active skill to the end, and also all the attack boosting items till the very end. So we kind of saved the best for last, so to speak. But yeah, I guess the unit itself, I do like the unit. It's a little bit unfortunate that even with 1,200 stones, I wasn't able to pull it. But considering how phenomenal my luck was during the 6-year anniversary, I can't really complain. I was bound to get shafted at some point. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. I don't really have ill will, toward my unlucky pulls, and also everybody else getting lucky. It's a vicious cycle of gacha games, right? It's the constant roller coaster ride of getting lucky and not. So it's just the way of the nature of the game itself, and I can't really complain about that. So, of course, I was lucky enough to be able to test this by building variations of teams on movie boss categories. Unfortunately, I really would prefer to have a copy of Broly. That way, I was able to include the physical type Kid Buu, obviously because of a much greater boost, but I think Turles is good enough as well, and I don't really see any issues with that. So I don't know where we're at in the total amount of turns, but luckily Dokkan implemented not too long ago the turn count, so that saves me a lot of time in terms of editing, and instead of having to layer in the turn count, it's already embedded into the game, so it saves me a lot of time in that regard. But again, at the end of the day, this is just a lot of fun to do. This is very unrealistic, just so to speak. Just to be clear, you're never going to be up to this point in terms of any actual realistic battle. So this is more or less just consider it, kind of a laboratory setting with an experiment. You have a controlled situation where you're locked in on the certain types of rotations you want, and basically testing out the attack stack boosting. The only unfortunate thing about this unit is the fact that it is a medium chance for the additional super attack, so it does vary. I mean, medium chance, I guess, is the equivalent of, what is that, 30% chance? So, I mean, it's high enough, but still kind of low at the same time, if that makes any sense. So, I guess it's frequent enough to where you are able to stack, with multiple supers per rotation, but, yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Now, I did kind of just activate Tech LR Broly's active skill. I don't know. For whatever reason, I saved it for last. I guess I just wanted to see a rotation where, the INT Legendary Super Saiyan Broly was built up with the attack stack and whatnot. But, yeah, I mean, look, these two guys are pretty phenomenal units. This was recorded, just so you know, before the EZA rolled out for the STR Broly unit. I got to work on that and do some updated showcase for that. But in essence, it doesn't really make a difference because I already had plans of linking the INT Broly to the Tech LR Broly anyhow, so I guess it doesn't really make a difference from that standpoint. But just FYI from a timestamp standpoint, I guess, just letting you know this was recorded the other day. I think we're getting close. So unfortunately, in this case, the powder gas unit is pretty much HP is depleted. I brought in the final form cooler. Unfortunately, this guy had 100% potential with built-in crits at level 15 or whatnot. So I think it applied a little bit more damage than I wanted to. So we weren't able to fully get to the 99 turn limit, but I think at this point we were able to, stack enough toward, his attack where it really is insignificant at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, when I was recording this, I was like, whatever, this is good enough to use for a video, and here we are today. So hopefully you guys don't have too many complaints about it. All right, so this is going to be the last rotation. Again, I brought in a bunch of attack boosting items. Unfortunately, because I am going to use the orb changing item for the end types, it's going to recover the HP to the point where you're going to lose the Berserker ability. And again, Berserker is going to add 30% toward your attack. The only condition is you have to have HP 50% or below. So of course, we're going to recover. That's why I ended up using the Bulma item, where you get the I think it was like 70% HP recovery and attack increase of 25% for 2 turns. So not as good of a boost compared to having the Berserker link active, but because we are stacking an extra 5% based on obtaining the intelligence key spheres, it kind of works itself out. So that's pretty much in summary the test environment, quote unquote, so to speak, with the legendary Super Saiyan Broly's ability for the Kaioken mechanic, or just simply the ability to stack up the attack and defense. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Okay, peace out.